quite a wide-ranging speech from the Prime Minister. It was all trailed beforehand that it was going to focus on housing, but it went way beyond that. There was a massive chunk at the start talking about Ukraine. But clearly, Boris Johnson feels that he has to focus on the kind of cost of living crisis, the economic harm that we're seeing post-pandemic in this kind of reset, if you like, on his leadership following that pretty difficult vote on Monday. In terms of, though, housing and this new initiative to essentially allow housing association tenants to buy their own homes, there are still lots and lots of questions. The Prime Minister did try and address some of them, suggesting that any houses that are sold off, well, they will be replaced, that this is an attempt to try and get over some of the difficulties of people who live in housing associations who cannot, frankly, at the moment buy their own home or indeed make any significant changes to them. And in its part, he would see, in many ways, of trying to throw back to the Thatcher era of getting people's right to buy. But in the end, actually, and as I kind of put to him, one of the big kind of elephants in the room, Alex, but all of this, is the issue of a lack of housing. He referred to himself. Our population has increased by 12 million in the last couple of decades, yet we've built fewer houses than countries like France. And frankly, he wouldn't go as far as insisting that the Conservative manifesto pledge, a pledge he signed up to in 2019 of ensuring there be 300,000 homes built in this country per year by the mid of 2020s. He said he couldn't give that guarantee anymore. And that is in many ways, despite the government's attempts today to try and deal with the housing crisis, is going to make things worse because we are still going to have fewer homes than we need, particularly with an increasing population. And also, Alex, the other interesting thing today, and again, of course, he touched upon the cost of living crisis and the government was on your side. That's the slogan we heard time and time again, was on this issue of fuel duty. Now, I brought this up as a question because today is quite a landmark day. For the first time in the history of our country, it's going to take the average car owner £100 to top up your average family car. That is an awful lot of money. It's the biggest fuel increase we've seen in 17 years. And yes, the government have cut fuel duty by 5 pence, but most other comparable European countries have gone much further. And I think there will be increasing pressure now on the government in the weeks and months to come, given the fact that fuel prices are unlikely to drop anytime soon, that they may well have to go further to try and alleviate some of the costs on people at a time when, of course, it's not just fuel, but frankly, many other things that are going up in price, putting a real squeeze on people's standards of living.